Okay.
Good evening. Hopefully everybody
Yay!
hopefully everybody that's joined us on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Tonight we're going to discuss the show Insecure. These young ladies watch Insecure and they put me on the show as well. So tonight we're going to discuss the dynamic of the show and how it is how art imitates life as well within the show and the dynamic of the show and the responses from last week's episode and season 4. Go ahead, Shakita.
So, I've been getting a lot of feedback and having conversations about the last season of Insecure. So, if anybody is like me, I'm a huge fan and I watch every season. But this season has been very controversial when and the topic has been about friendship. You know, when is the time up? When have you outgrown your friends? Or when you find yourself in a situation where the respect is gone, and there's no honesty and there's no clear communication, what do you do next? So I have here this evening my two really good girlfriends, Halima and Sheba. And we have been watching Insecure, every week, just like everybody else, and get into our group chat and go off about the behavior of Molly in particular and Issa as well.
Mhm.
You know, the lack of communication is a full on trigger for me, because I've been in situations where I've had people who I've been friends with forever, immediate just one day decide that they're not going to communicate, and the friendship's over. And it happens. So we want to kind of discuss Insecure. We want to discuss that, and then we want to discuss friendship. And I think I have two really good women here on the show with me. We have a very good relationship. We have a really good friendship. We've been friends for probably 20 years. Toshiba and Halima have probably been friends much longer than that. So I would like to introduce Halima and Sheba. You probably know Sheba. She's been here before, but this is Halima's very first time. So hi, Halima! Yay, you are here!
Hey,
I'm
I'm
so excited.
here. I am too. Thank
Yay.
you for the invitation.
Yes, I couldn't imagine having this conversation with anyone else other than the two of you. So I'm so glad
I
you are
appreciate
available
that.
here.
Thank you.
Shakita, you can let the audience know that they can also call in and I'll take their calls offline and any questions that they may want to pose to you guys as well as in the comments.
Yes, so he did definitely said it. The number is coming across the bottom of the screen. Please call in if you have any questions or comments about Issa, Molly's boyfriend, whatever you want to talk about, you want to bring up. It is the numbers at the bottom. You can comment in the comment section on the YouTube page. Please subscribe where you can make comments and you can chat back and forth with Quentin and he can present some of your questions as well. You can also post questions and comments in the group too. So, but Quentin, please share the link. I don't know if you have, but share the link so they can see and talk. So, ladies, the end of the season ended with Molly being physically confrontational with her best friend Issa over feeling like she was stabbed in the back because her boyfriend did Issa a favor. What did you guys think about that?
It's such a touchy subject because it's basically about communication and boundaries.
Hmm.
So Molly set this punk ass boundary that was just ridiculous, and Issa just wanted assistance to be able to move her movement or vision forward.
Right.
So all of the unnecessary shutting down and not wanting to help and not get involved, it just really was just unnecessary. So everybody's standpoint where Issa stood as well as where Molly said everybody has their opinion on who was right in the situation. But me personally, if you can get somebody to help you do what you need to do, then so be it. Let that be a blessing and keep it moving. That's just how I
Right.
feel.
I can't
Mm.
imagine one of you having resources to something of such magnitude and you telling me, well, I don't want to get involved. She had absolutely no reason for behaving like that and just
Right.
completely shutting down. Like I could see if she
Mm.
felt like it was a conflict of interest, right? Like when your friend wants you to hook him up with one of your girlfriends. Absolutely not. Because if it goes sour, then that's something completely different. But we're talking about having a block party. I'm sure the sponsors and all of the different vendors and stuff that were there, there were probably hundreds of thousands of dollars that they've come
Right.
out and did for free. And her main act was going to cancel. So if your boyfriend can literally send an email to help your best friend, why wouldn't you let him? It made absolutely no sense to me.
Well, what did you say? Go back to what you text earlier in the week about how Molly saw their relationship. Go back to that because that was really,
What was it?
how
The
Mm-hmm.
she viewed the relationship versus, how maybe Issa viewed the relationship, but she saw it as taking care of her versus,
yes.
you know, I
She
didn't think
felt like
about it like that.
all these years, Molly felt as though she has been bailing Issa out. She's been
Right.
picking up the
Mm-hmm.
slack for her. She's been doing her favors. She's been doing all of these things for Issa. And Issa has just been like a leech, just sucking her dry and taking things from her. So
Right.
Issa called her and said, my main act has canceled. I need help. Do you think you'll be able to ask your boyfriend if he can send an email to the act and see if he can still come out and be a part of my block party?
Mm-hmm.
And she said no. She didn't want to. Like, no, I just don't want to mix the two. And Issa was like,
Right.
a little confused, but she was like, okay, well, I guess you don't want to mix the two. And mentioned it to a male friend of hers that was helping her, assisting her with the block party. So the guy who knows Issa's boyfriend decided to reach out to Molly's boyfriend and say, look, we're having this issue with the block party. We need help. And the guy sent the email, and that quick, the act was like, yeah, I'll come and I'll do it. It wasn't even like she had to do anything in particular. And then she didn't want to get involved. So Issa said, well, I didn't involve you. So if I didn't
Right.
involve you and I didn't ask you, then what's the problem? And then
What's the
how are you
problem?
so confrontational with her? I,
Right.
I don't understand that, especially in an environment where here we are, where this is my block party, this is my event.
Right.
And you want to
Right.
start a physical fight with me
Right.
over what? Like,
Well,
The
that was
fact
the
that it came,
buildup.
yeah, the fact that it came to hands is, to me, that's hurtful to see because you don't ever want to see, two sisters get to that point, especially, if they love each other. You don't want to see that come to pass. But when you put your hands on me, then bitch, all that's out the window. That's all gone. What the fuck is up? Because now you've changed the dynamics of our relationship. But
Correct.
but
Correct.
um but Molly is like one of them insecure people that's hot and cold all the time.
mm,
Mm,
How many times did she
correct.
change her whole, you know, attitude and demeanor within the day of that block party? You was
yeah.
up and down, you was hot and cold, you was feeling it and you wasn't,
Mm-hmm. Correct.
y'all, we was just cha-cha, and now we about to fight.
Is it, I'm
Right.
gonna ask you guys a question. Is that her overbearing personality has finally been challenged?
May I think she couldn't make
Halima, you can
peace.
hear
And
me?
I can hear you. Can you hear
Great,
me?
great, great,
I
great.
can hear you.
Woo!
I think she could not make peace or embrace the next level that her friend was going to. Instead of celebrating her, she really took issue with, like, She set a goal, she executed it. She didn't need me even when I put up this roadblock. How dare she? Who does she think she is? That's what she gave me. And that's not a friend.
Yes.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
not a friend.
I got a lot of the underlining tone of her just really harboring all these ill feelings for so
Oh.
long that they just all came to a head and it just spilled over, and then the rage got in it. That's why it just changed so quickly. My thing is that if you have these ill feelings and you're harboring all of these things that you feel like is going on, I'm sorry, such as uh Issa being a leech and always needing assistance. If you felt that way, then as my sister, as my people, you should just be 100 and say that to me. That's a conversation that should have been had a long time ago, and then you talk about it and move on. But
Yeah.
Molly is harboring so much that it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then who wants like I've had people say like oh, every time she called me she's so negative. I don't want to hear that. And I'm thinking to myself, this is your best friend.
Mm.
If she's going through something and experiencing something, she can't be negative all the time. Like Issa can't be a leech all the time. And if you are her friend and you're there to assist her, then assist her. She went from being homeless or practically
Come
losing her
on.
job. She was homeless. She lost her job. She broke up with her boyfriend. Yeah, she need a lot. That's your purpose of being her friend. So how do
Mhm.
you catch an attitude with her because she needs you and you don't want her to? Like, why are you there? Why are you her friend then? What do you want? You
Mhm.
just want somebody to
Mhm.
control and tell what to do all the time. You want somebody to listen to your advice all the time. She's always trying to tell somebody advice, but when she's like, at one point, Issa was like, but she was just sleeping around with that married man. And you worried about me?
Right. She's messy in that she can judge and you can tell people what's not right with their life, but you are, you're losing yourself to have this man in your life. She was
Hmm.
acting like if she didn't she just was compromising herself and making excuses and hoping that he would, still stick around. And she didn't she didn't give that same reciprocity to Issa is what I saw. But beyond not supporting her in her project, then you threw shade on her about Lawrence. Like,
Yeah.
fine,
Mhm.
if you don't want to support me with my project, fine. But now you're not going to put out, kick my back end to our friends and speculate and put stuff out there that's not even true. You're really not my friend.
Right. It's almost like she doesn't trust her as a person to even say, I could be wrong. Maybe her and
She
Lawrence.
doesn't think that she can grow. That's what it is.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to acknowledge
Yeah.
her growth. And
Yeah.
what kind of friend is that? You don't want to acknowledge, like, you don't want
You
to
I
see
don't
me
need them type of
flourish.
people.
You
and
don't
I
want to see
You
me
remember
don't need
I
those
had
type
a
of
flourish.
people at all.
right. And I had
Oh,
a friend who said to me one time, like, I remember my ex had inboxed me happy birthday. And I think either happy birthday, Merry Christmas, something. And I was like, and I said to my friend, who I'm no longer friends with, like, oh, he inboxed me. And she lost her shit. Don't respond. You know how you are. You don't want him to say this, and then you be talking to him again, and blah blah. And I'm thinking to myself, I ain't talked to this man in 4 years. You don't
mm,
think that I'm
mm,
past that? You don't think that I'm a different person? Like, why would I? And first of all, I'm not even like that. If I don't deal with you no more, I don't deal with you no more. I don't. I'm not a back and forth kind of a person. But she, like Halima said, she didn't even think that I could grow past that. Like, be stuck on what? A hello? A happy birthday? That's going to set me back so far. And then she had an attitude with me, like she was mad with me. Oh, you know how you are.
Mm.
Don't talk to this. Meanwhile, when your exes contact she believes that she should communicate with them and talk to them and not block them on social media because she doesn't want to perceive to be petty. So she has these full on conversations with them about their lives and what go on in their lives.
mm.
It's really strange how somebody thinks that they can dictate to you how you do things instead of just being supportive. Because if I want, like, if Issa wanted to talk to Lawrence and Mrs. Lawrence, she can do that. That was
Mhm.
her relationship she had with somebody for 4 years. So why would you treat her like she's crazy for socializing with him?
I think she started with that parking spot, right?
Oh, that
Oh,
brought
that was
this
that
hot
scene
button
was
me hot.
that scene was off. That was
Wasn't
awful.
that?
That was
It
awful.
was so odd. It was so odd. Like, how dare you?
She was so nasty. I said she literally was behaving like she hated her, like she can't stand her, or like she was a
Correct.
gnat that was getting on her
Like she
nerves.
was that annoying, I don't know what lady in the parking lot. Like, y'all about to have words when we get in the store. You treating her like that. That's your friend. I can't believe. But she tried, basically, she sunned her. She sunned
Yeah,
her. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah, she
you
did.
know, but the thing about it is that Issa is on such a other wave. She just took it like, whatever, the bitch being
She was like,
miserable as
whatever.
usual. It was
Exactly.
like, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
I'm
And
a,
do you guys think you guys think that maybe Molly wanted to try to keep her relationship sacred and didn't want to mix business with pleasure?
nah, she didn't want to see her grow. She didn't want to see her flourish.
Not at all. The
Nah.
whole premise of the relationship was that Issa was always in her good graces because there was a need. But then once Issa has now grown into something that's beyond that, Molly is losing control and she wants to put, you know, control back into the situation.
Hmm.
It,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's just what it is.
If that's her lackey and Issa was just there for someone to, to fuck shit up with, if you just trying to like be out in the world and be messy with, what I'm saying, Issa my girl. If I want
hmm,
someone to tell me to do some shit that I know maybe I wouldn't do, but she putting this battery in my back, that's what Issa's supposed to be. But the
yeah,
moment that changed and she didn't have time and they weren't checking in like they was normally do, it was a problem. It was, it became a problem.
yes,
So y'all think I'm new to the show and Shakita had told me to watch some of the show so I can get sped up on it. So basically Molly's character is she doesn't like to share the spotlight with nobody. She's the overbearing friend that as long as everything's in accordance to what she got going on, it's okay. But once it's a problem, it's a problem.
right. Like Molly is
Yeah.
always too busy. The minute Issa is busy, Issa's is flaking on her and being flaky. Like the whole pie thing at her house. I don't remember what holiday that was. I don't know if it was
Oh yeah.
Thanksgiving or whatever. But
Hmm.
Issa is spending time with her brother, having dinner with her brother. That's something that she really just doesn't get a chance to do often. She's always at Molly's house, always eating that freaking pie at your house with your family. The one time she wants to spend time with her brother, you're all sad and in your feelings. It literally makes no sense to me. You don't
I
even like,
think
go ahead.
yeah. I think Issa I think the season is showing you what it is to show up for yourself
Mm-mm-mm.
and to be honest with yourself and to choose yourself first,
Mm-mm-mm.
over other people. That same episode, she was at her mom's house. They both was like, we don't really want to do this either, right? So they made a
Mhm.
conscious decision and pick themselves and do what they wanted to do. And it was fun. It was lit. It was,
Mhm.
she made the right decisions, and that's not easy. Some people may not find that easy to do, but once you go there, you can't go back to, worrying about what other people think and feel and want. Fuck that. So she didn't like who Issa was evolving into. That's what it
Right.
is.
I agree. I agree. So if you encounter, um, I posted a watch party on Facebook, and I'm getting Issa is Molly is a hater, and that she's a selfish friend. So when you
Mm.
Quentin, are you talking to us? Are you talking to us, Quentin? Oh, um, over there mouthing, looking like a puppet. Okay. But when you find yourself challenged with a Molly, what do you do? Like how do you, what do you do, and how do you choose yourself, like you said?
Hmm.
See, and I try to be as mature as possible, but when I'm put in a situation where somebody basically just decides that they are going to treat you a certain way and they don't care, they no longer care or value the years that you've put into a friendship or a relationship, I think you have to just walk away. I think you have to walk away. I think you just have to be the bigger person and just, let it go.
Yeah, any relationship that doesn't feed you, or that is something that you have to dumb yourself down for, or you can't. No,
Halima, we can hear you.
no, she was saying that. She said, "Can you guys hear me?"
No.
But I was just saying, like, I don't really do that type of person. And if you find yourself in a relationship like that, I don't, other than like your family, you can't really get rid of family. But I'm finding that you can. I'm finding that you can. You can. You can. You know what I'm saying? You can figure that out.
I
But
I'm
can
other than
busy.
believe.
that,
It usually works when I'm busy. I got something I got to do. I got to work.
uh huh.
And block
Whatever.
people.
Yeah. Other than that, anyone else, you don't have to. You can always, again, choose yourself. And if if you have to bring it to someone, hopefully you can bring it to them and bring it to their attention, and maybe they'll say, "Oh, I didn't realize. Thanks for bringing my attention to that. Thanks for whatever." But if you don't feel like that person will be receptive, oh,
But see, a lot of what I didn't like about it is, and what I find in a lot of relationships with women is that once you get this new man, because Molly's boyfriend was new to her,
oh,
and not Molly wasn't really um hell bent. She didn't even particularly want to be in a relationship, I don't think. In the
hmm,
beginning, I think she kind of saw him dating other people and she was in her feelings. But this whole thing where women, especially I feel like successful women, they get a man and their life now is complete. They have their career and now they have their man. And now they no
mm,
longer need anybody else. They don't,
mm,
it's literally like the world has completely stopped. And this is what I was working for. The friendship that I had with you was temporary because
hmm.
I needed you to fill the void of me not
That's
having a man.
crazy.
And now that I have a man and I have my career and I have a man, leave me and my man to live our lives and we can be in love and ride off into the sunset. And I think that's what Molly was doing to Issa. And even her boyfriend was like, that's your best friend. Why are you acting like that? That's your best friend. What's your problem? And I see it all the time with women. They get a man and they disappear on their friends and they start acting funny.
Mm,
And then as
What
soon, and I feel like Molly's boyfriend is about to break up with her. He hates when she talks about her job. She never has any time for him. He was just seeing other people. And when he
mm.
leave you and break up with you, you gonna need Issa back.
I'm gonna ask you, Kitty, could the case just be that she been struggling to find a man for so long that this is like heaven to her? So like she gonna put all her energy and time into this man and just say bump everybody else?
Right. And I think that happens so often. I mean, I see people who have been in friendships, best friends with people for 10, 15 years and let her get a man. It's over. Molly is very controlling. She wants to control everybody's relationship. She wants to control the relationship that Molly's mother and father have. Because at last season, Molly found. I mean, yeah, last season, Molly found out that her father cheated on her mother. She has not been speaking to her father for almost a year. That's none of your business. And then she has a nerve to be resentful to her mother because her mother forgave her father. mind your business and stay out of grown people's business. You wouldn't even know if your father did that
Exactly.
if it didn't come up. So now here you
Hmm.
are with a finally got you a man and a boyfriend, and you and your boyfriend are having issues. Y'all are not communicating. You're not spending any time with him, and he is sick of it. He's making other plans with other people, just like Issa did, literally almost the same thing.
Did.
And but when it's her boyfriend, she shows up with wine and wants to talk about it and work on a relationship. When it's your boyfriend, you want to communicate and you want to get to the bottom of things because you don't want to ruin your relationship with your brand new boyfriend. But your best friend, who is doing the same exact thing as your boyfriend, doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. You don't come to her and you don't talk to her. You don't talk things out with her. But the sacrifice that you'll make for somebody that has been your boyfriend for a few weeks is ridiculous to me. And to completely throw away a relationship, your families are intertwined and everything, and you'll completely throw away a relationship over some man. It's crazy.
Well, clearly she's not thinking very rational. She's just at the point where she's at that very pivotal point in her life where the roles that she's placed people in and that she's known it to be have all changed, and she is really struggling with that change. And it's so evident and it's so apparent that it's coming out in the wrong way, and to the point where she just got physical with Issa just because it's just like I said, the buildup of losing control. She's
Mm-hmm.
so used to certain things being a certain way that she just cannot handle that change. And you talk about dealing with trauma and how you properly process the trauma in your life. She didn't get any help for what she was dealing with the situation with her parents, and that fucked her up really, really bad. And the way in which she saw relationships, and she had this image of her parents being so high on a pedestal, and then it all came crumbling down. So she has a real issues with relationships and processing the change.
Right. And then the only healthy, I mean, it wasn't 100%, but it was still the longest relationship she's ever had and the healthiest relationship she's ever had with her best friend. You completely threw out of the window.
Hmm.
She said, and when she jumped up in Issa's face, Issa should have whooped her ass. The way I was up in here
Agreed.
screaming and hollering, be how
Agreed.
violent. I was in here screaming like I was watching one of them videos on Instagram. Like, whoop her ass. She better snatch her up. And then what kills, oh my God, and the part that killed me the most, and I know we're not there yet, but we there now. You have mutual friends who are watching Molly be a complete bitch, and you're watching Molly completely mistreat Issa, and y'all are doing nothing but it's gonna be okay. How about Molly? You were dead wrong.
Right. It's
Kelly,
very.
what we
I'm
say
surprised
here?
that wasn't Kelly. That's Kelly. That's Kelly. That would have been
Kelly, I
Kelly's
think
position.
she's ditzy, but right. How about you
Kelly
are
would
dead
have jumped on
wrong,
it.
and the way you're treating her is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, how don't you say anything whatsoever? The boyfriend standing there looking dumb. First of all, boo, back up out this girl's face. This is an event. First of all, his name is on the event too. So you out here embarrassing all of us. It was ugly. It was really, really ugly.
So what's going on
I
with
know
this?
that their relationship.
Go ahead, Sheba.
I was just gonna say I know that that is the pivotal point in their relationship, and now it will never be the same.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
Her relationship with Issa, there's no coming back from when you try to come for me
Mm-hmm.
and be physical. So the dynamics of the relationship is forever changed, and now where do they go from here?
Right.
Because it
I
don't
def-
go back to what it once was.
mm-hmm.
It's
And
just
I
changed.
definitely think they need to talk about it. I don't think that they should discuss it alone. I think that they should discuss it amongst friends, but I think people need to be on the side of right and correcting what's wrong. You know, people oftentimes would rather, I'll just stay out of it. Staying out of it sometimes is, and it's not so much to mend the relationship. It's because a person is dead ass wrong. And if you don't correct people in their wrongness, they'll keep doing it. And I say that all the time. Like I'm all for not allowed. I'm just not into that. Like I remember having really good girlfriends and doing things with them all of the time. And one girl thought that I wanted her boy. The girl that I was really good friends with thought I wanted her boyfriend, and she wasn't honest about those feelings. And when she finally came clean with me, I told her, I don't want to be your friend, because somebody who's my friend wouldn't have treated me that way. You know, you have other friends, go be their friends. It's perfectly fine with me. But in the midst of all of that, all of her girlfriends who we were mutual friends with never corrected her behavior. They never said, you shouldn't have done that. You know, you should have asked, you should have had a conversation with her. You shouldn't have treated her that way. Like, you shouldn't have done that. And the reason why she thought that I was being jealous of her was because when the guy told me that he was talking about her. And I said to him, I'm going to tell her what you said, because I'm not going to sit here and let you talk about her. I'm going to tell her. And he said, I don't care if you tell her. So I said, okay, thinking, of course, I'm going to tell my friend that this man is talking about her in a room full of other men.
Mm.
I tell her, and instead of her saying, oh, wow, thank you for telling me, she took that as me being spiteful that she had something that I wanted.
Mm.
And she mistreated me for it. But here she's wrong. Her behavior was incorrect. And nobody said a word. Like, I think we all have a responsibility. And there's some things that, I didn't want anybody to say anything to her because I wanted to mend our relationship. But how do you watch somebody do something wrong and not say anything? Like, that's the part that I just kind of don't get.
But
So let me,
truth
let me
tellers,
go ahead,
um,
Olima. I
can you
apologize.
can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But truth tellers are always the ones that, you know, bear the consequences. You know, a whistleblower bears the consequences. That's what you have to bear in, and bringing something, exposing something. It just comes with the territory.
Absolutely, because I can't imagine something like that happening again. And I'm just like, well, I'm not going to say nothing because my last friend got mad at me. I'm telling all of it.
Yeah,
So
nah.
let me ask you guys something. Is going forward? Is this going to affect Molly and Andrew's relationship?
Oh yes. If he's real, if he's real, he done seen what she's about. And you know, it depends on how he saw her. If
Right.
he was really trying to build something with her, then that's a problem, because you show me that you got serious flaws in your character.
Mm-hmm.
Serious flaws. But if she's just, just we have an understanding, it's a situationship, then it don't really matter. But he knows that at least she's shady and he knows how to, deal with her. But if he was trying to build something with her, I think that would make someone stop in their tracks. Like, you went full blown crazy.
Right. And that
Mm-mm.
after the little back and forth, he was like kind of apologetic. He was like, I apologize. Next time I'll never do that again. And I thought to myself,
Men apologize for stuff
you're
all
just
the
saying
time
that
and they don't
now.
mean it.
She muted
Yeah.
him. She
Yeah.
muted him. She made hey, Shaketa. That goes back to our conversations from before. She made him a simp.
Mm,
I ain't saying he a pimp, but she definitely made him a simp. Like now you
yeah.
talking about he don't want to help people out from the kindness of his heart. Like I just think it's funny because now she kind of like messed up her friendship and a potential relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. But she's so selfish. She didn't even see that.
She needs to do some healing on herself.
Yes, she does. She's not
She needs
fit
to
to be in
start
a
working on
relationship.
herself now.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Any kind of relationship right now. She needs to work
Exactly.
on healing that trauma that she has, because clearly she's hurting, and the hurt is now causing her to ruin relationships. So she got to do some serious healing. So she's at the position where she doesn't have anybody like that right now. So she needs to just work on her, and
That's
that's
the
a
friend.
very important. I'm
That's
sorry.
the friend that they have that that tries to fix, manage, and control every situation in everybody else's life and don't focus on what they got going on in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess on paper she's straight, but if you're you're you know you're if you're not in touch with yourself and whatever your insecurities are, whatever your pains are, whatever those things that are your triggers, you've got to face your triggers and then heal that area, so then people can't set you off, and you don't present you don't so when you're in a situation or a position where those triggers may cause you to make a wrong decision, you're in control of that. But if you're not, then that's what you get. You get somebody that's buck wild, throwing, putting hands on people, and talking crazy, talking about, you stabbed me in my back. I stabbed you in your back.
She's
I
very reckless.
I still didn't understand that. You you
Very
you
reckless.
you thoroughly did not get. You didn't see the situation right. I didn't stab you in the back, darling. I just God closed that door. I opened this. He opened the window,
Right.
and I went that way. You not the end all, the be all to my life. But she
Ooh.
really thought that. She
Yeah.
really believed
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
So she's got, and it's nothing worse than a person that's like, I don't feel like doing this. I don't want to do this. I'm always helping somebody. But then, if they don't come to you, then you have a problem with that too. It can't be
Right.
both
Right.
ways. It can't be both ways.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he would continue to work, to deal with her. He would probably begin to retreat from her because he had already made it clear, like, I don't know. It seems like you don't have time. So he's already
Right.
contemplating, kind of like stepping back. So I don't. After that performance, why would you want to be with her?
Yeah. Definitely.
Mm-mm.
And then you have people who see the dysfunction between Molly and Issa, and they believe that Issa is the problem. And I know Halima mentioned that. She was like, I was just very shocked that everybody felt as though Issa was the issue and Issa was the problem. And I've seen people say the same exact thing. And I'm just blown away that somebody could look at that situation and think that Issa is the problem. Blown away.
Yeah.
Because people lack comprehension skills. Anyone who thinks that Issa is the problem, you lack comprehension skills. Please.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
very, very clear that Molly is the problem. Issa got some shit with her too.
Right.
She got some things going on. She got some real craziness going on, including the wardrobe this season. She got
Ooh,
right,
that wardrobe
but
terrible. Ugh,
what I
all them
said,
clothes
the
ugly.
community send free materials that you get, and
Child.
they hook you up and do it. So
Homemade.
clearly, Issa has
All
some
them homemade
clearly Issa has some
outfits.
things to work on.
Mm.
What's that,
Mm.
Halima?
Oh,
Homemade.
can we talk about Issa and her befriending her ex-boyfriend's
Condola.
new girl, Condola?
Come
I thought
on.
I
Come
thought that was
on.
so interesting.
And that, to
It
me,
was
is
odd.
I thought it was beautiful, because that
Mm,
type of growth, to me,
Mm-mm.
that type of strength is something that, it when it rained, it poured for Issa. She
Yeah.
had
mm,
no
yeah,
she had
yeah.
no choice but to really man up and get her shit together. And you found someone to work with that was going to help you bring your vision to fruition. And then you realize that that person, basically, like she said, she was honest. I basically raised this man for him to be the good guy that you know.
Prepare them for you. Prepare
I
them for
prepare,
you.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm the
it.
cleanup woman, and I prepared him for you.
Right.
But she didn't let that stop her. She didn't stumble. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't fall. She kept on.
Right.
And that moment
Yes,
when it
she
was
did.
Condola and it was Molly, and you could tell she was happy because it was like my new life, my past life are all coming together. Ideally, I think that's what she probably wanted was for the three of them to be cool and vibe and keep going forward. But
Mm-hmm.
Molly didn't want that because I need you to be who you've
Now
been to me.
Right. And I
I
don't
saw
and
that in
don't
a
bring
different
nobody
light.
in the
I
group that's
saw it
better
in the
than
light
me.
that I saw it in the light that, and we've been there. The fact that she had her vision, she meaning Issa, she had the vision of what she wanted to do. She had her goal set, and she was going to reach that goal by any means necessary. And if it took befriending the current girlfriend of your ex, then so be it. Because when you have that growth and you get to that point in your life of real womanhood and queendomhood,
Mm,
you know that it is time to say it's all about my vision and what vision I'm trying to push forward. And anything that comes in my way that I can use that resource to make happen, so fucking be it.
hmm
Now that's grown.
That's
That's
real grown.
very
So this
grown.
so this is the breakthrough not only on the particular episode, as well as her character in the show.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Correct.
absolutely, yes.
Correct.
Because up until then, she was just kind of like crashing and burning. But for you to
Mm-hmm.
identify a goal and really pursue that goal, and then you found people outside of your normal, village to help you bring this to fruition, and then down the line you find out who this woman was. And up until then she was feeling her, she liked her, she was smile, they had little, their own little language, whatever. So they had been cultivating some sort of like relationship, friendship, or whatever. um but she didn't let that stop her. She kept going, and she was just laser focused. You laser
Mm-hmm.
focused. It wasn't about any of the other distractions. She was laser focused. And instead of her friend, her main friend, saying like, "I'm so proud of you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so proud of you. You just keep going." She couldn't give it up. She wanted to throw, salt in the game and be like, "Oh, look at her. She's still with Lawrence, or she's entertaining Lawrence." Not
Right.
at all. Not at all. But I think.
But Pete, let me stay right there. Let me stay right
Mhm.
there for a second. Where you at, Halima?
Mhm.
The crazy thing is that this whole episode was about that womanhood and just pushing forward in that growth to the point where Issa decided she made a very conscious decision about reaping the benefits of that connect.
Come on.
Because why? She was still pushing that vision forward, and she did it by any means necessary. And look at the friction that it caused, but she had to do what she had to do for her vision. She
Right.
didn't let anything stand in her way, and there were going to be some casualties when you have a war. It's just
Mhm.
that simple. And that vision was so strong, and she pushed and pushed, and then she got everything that she was working so hard for with the event.
And the devil is a liar, because imagine if she had given in to Lawrence and started, you know what I'm saying, kicking it with him, doing whatever, that would have distracted her and taken her off her
Sidetrack.
game. She just really kept going. And to me, that should be applauded by the people that know your struggle. Why
Mm-hmm.
would you
Mhm.
come and bring
Mhm.
something else to try to tear me down? It just, that to me was, it, it was enraging. But yes, Condola was very interesting. I don't know if I could have done it, but she did it because she had a goal. She made a promise to herself, and she could not betray herself. She had to make good on
Mm.
that promise to herself. And that's what I see in Toshiba. That's what I see in Shaketa. And those are the things that, keep us honest and true to one another. If you don't have that with someone, then you should, you don't need to have them in your circle.
And I feel like Issa has always been so super honest with Molly. And Molly always holds back a lot of information because she wants to
Mm,
perceive and portray as if she's so perfect all the time.
Perfection.
right.
Like she never, like the whole thing with the married guy she was sleeping with. Everything was a-okay. She never wanted to express that, she really had some issues with that. Even when she found out that the current boyfriend was seeing other people before they became exclusive, she wanted to pretend like, oh, he's seeing other people. Like, where's the honesty in y'all's relationship? That's the part that I kind of didn't like.
Mhm.
And that's why she also felt as though when Issa met Condola and they became such good friends, it was almost like, well, how could you like her? And Issa was like, because I do. I met her
Right.
before I knew any of these things were going on. She's cool. She's been helping me a lot. So here you have this friend who ain't helping you do nothing, don't want to be involved and don't want a part of nothing. And you simply cannot believe that she genuinely likes her as a person because you don't genuinely like Issa as a person. You only
Mm-hmm.
like Issa when she's struggling. Now, when she's struggling and need
Right.
help, you got a problem with that. Here she is actually helping herself and still struggling, but she's helping herself and she's taking the steps to do what she needs to do and has a very supportive friend helping her. And you would think it would make her feel like, let me step up my friendship game a little bit and see what help she needs. Of course not. She couldn't do that. That was no, I'm not going to do that. Just get rid of Condola. You don't need to be Condola's friend. So if she got rid of Condola and
Right.
Condola didn't help her with all the connects, who was going to help her? You? You didn't
Right.
want to help.
No.
Right.
In fact, Molly was like, "You still on this block party shit?" Like
Ooh, wasn't it
she
disgusting?
kept saying it, like,
Hater.
you still
Hater.
doing that? You still on that?"
Hater.
Yeah, there's no way. Why would she want to have to share with her, what she was going through on a frequent basis about this project? Because truly, those, anything you're trying to do for the first time, all the unknowns, and if you're sharing with someone who
Mm,
doesn't believe in you, they're gonna, every time tell them about something, a stumble, they're gonna try to convince you not to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
correct.
that was really what
Correct.
separated them. You didn't believe in me, and because you didn't believe in me, I have to protect my dream, my vision, my goal. You can't share that with
Can we? Ooh,
everybody.
ooh.
Halima, let me ask
Stay
you.
right there, Halima. Stay right
Maybe
there, Halima. Stay
let
I'm
me
right
ask
there.
you,
about to do a lap
Hold up.
around this house. I'm about to
Halima.
do
Hold
a
up.
Maybe
lap.
Halima. Maybe she did
Because that
believe.
statement right
Go
there,
ahead.
that statement right there is so important for women. I need to pause right there for a second. When you're a queen and
Eh,
you're pushing forward with your vision, you must be very selective in who
woo.
you choose to share that information with.
Yeah.
And the people that you do choose to share that information with, they have to be your ride or die when you ugly. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You need those type of people. You don't share that with everybody. But what Issa did was she took all that hate and that disregard and that questionability, all that came from her supposed to be best friend Molly, and took that shit and threw it in her backpack and used it as the fuel to just push
Mm.
through to get it done. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a beautiful thing to watch it manifest itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful. You got to be careful in what you do. And she was that right there. That relationship just got very ugly unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe she wasn't really trying to support her. It was more of, I'm gonna support you as long as your need for me is relevant.
Clearly,
Yeah. And
clearly,
what
Oh
I'm
yes.
willing to
clearly.
give. You have to I I had a friend who swears up and down that she was the best friend in the world. Don't tell her she wasn't amazing, right? But literally would only give what she wanted to give. Do you know how many times that I had to sacrifice and do something for my friend that I didn't particularly want to, but I know she needed me? It's no different than I would do for my children or my family. And that's how I feel about my friends. You can't consider yourself the best friend in the whole entire world when you won't stay up late with me to help me scrub my shop's new floors, or you won't help me pass out no flyers. You can, you my friend, right? You my friend, and I'm not discrediting people who don't want to do certain things. But we talking about you see your friend struggling and you don't want to help, that's fine. But you cannot come to me and throw up in my face what you choose to do versus you coming in and helping me when I need you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a completely different, it's a different level of giving. You know, some people want to just give you what they want. Well, I tried to tell you,
Right.
I tried to give you this, but you didn't want that. So I mean, I don't know what kind of help you want. This is the list of things that I need. This is the list of help that I need. And I feel like Molly is that kind of friend. This is all the kind of help I'm going to give you. If it's not good enough for you, oh well, but I'm a fantastic friend. I'm a great friend. I'm an amazing friend. You a friend.
So
Calm down.
Molly gives the type of help that she can control, not the help that her friends ask for or require.
Correct.
I don't think so.
Correct. She's given what she thinks is the need, and then it's not the need because you
Like
weren't listening,
literally,
friend.
that boyfriend sent one email
Yeah.
and the whole party was on and popping. It was successful from
Yeah.
one email. That Issa did not need Molly's boyfriend to pull nothing, to deliver nothing, to give up no money, to do
Right.
anything. Send one
Right.
email.
Right. Right.
So here
And
she is needing something from you, and you feel like, well, I've done all that I could do. What have you done? You've been a listening. Anytime you have friends that they can't listen to you, and you so frustrated and aggravated with them, you got to get rid of them. And
yeah.
Issa should have got rid of Molly a long time. All that frustration and aggravation when somebody's just trying to, literally, like Halima said, pulling herself up from the dirt, put out of her apartment, broke up with her boyfriend, lost her job. She didn't even have any money. She ain't had nowhere to live.
But didn't we even see this in season 3? Because I did
Yeah.
get a chance to watch it. Season 3 when she backstabbed her coworker.
Yes. She's
Mm.
terrible. She's, yeah.
Oh, look at you. Yeah. The guy, right?
Yeah, she put me on my
Mhm.
job.
Oh
Shaketa had me on my job
yeah.
this week.
And he still
So
can't stand her.
and right. And someone could say, that's her profession. She comes by it rightfully. She's an attorney. That that's how they are. Um, you could say that, but she just did not know how to be a friend. That's really what it was. And it's she can judge and she can criticize, but she definitely cannot self-assess. She could not see herself, And again, she looks good on paper. So why do I have to, delve any deeper than this? I
Right.
drive this. I live here. I wear that. What else? What else
Mhm.
is there? And I have my pro bono friend, Issa. And then I have, what I'm saying? Then I got my other friends, the rest of the crew or whatever. And I'm balanced. I'm hitting all those areas. What else do you want
Mm.
from me?
Yeah, right.
But see,
My
I,
poor friend, right?
in
That's
my
how I feel.
in
yeah,
Molly's character, she plays the role like we discussed of the friend that have everything together. She's trying to control everything, but the reality is that she's probably the most broken character in the whole show.
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
She's a fucking
she
mess.
she
She is
turned
a
out to
mess.
be the insecure one. You know what I'm saying? The show is insecure. She's
Right.
the insecure one. She's a mess. She's an absolute mess.
She's a mess.
Um,
I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Like when we're dealing with, we try to always say that art imitates life. Do you think a lot of times this is the case that the one friend, whether guy or female, the one person that always tries to act like their shit is together is usually the one that got a lot of flaws. They'll hide their flaws. They'll always preach to you about your stuff, but then won't internalize what they got going on, and they got so much dysfunction. Every relationship that they got
Yeah.
is kind of like on teeters, like it's almost done. and they try to always make it seem like their stuff is together when they dumped you. Like, you just don't listen to me. I keep trying to tell you to do this and keep trying to tell you to do that. Why don't you listen to me? Hold up, your
Right.
thing ain't together as well.
And then I
Mm-hmm.
find that they're very, very promiscuous. Like I'm the kind of person where I feel like as a woman or a man, you can do whatever you want to do with your body. But then they're constantly putting themselves in situations where it's like love for the moment. It's not even like it's not even like I'm gonna hook up with with my friend, because I have an itch, so let me hook up with my man for a little bit. I'm talking
Mm.
about like every time I turn around, Molly is experiencing this temporary, love affair where she thinks she's so in love, and then it backfires and smacks her dead in her face. But then she's the first one to act like I'm so into my work, I don't even have time for a man. But you are looking for a man, and you're
Hmm.
doing it wrong. I kind of always like once I look back at their relationship, the relationship, I kind of felt like Issa was a little jealous of. I mean, sorry, Molly was a little jealous of Issa and Lawrence, even though he was home laying on that couch being a bum, she was still a little jealous. You know what I mean? Because it was
Uh-huh.
something that she didn't have. And I think that's another reason why she's trying to discourage Issa from like talking to him and socializing with him. It's almost like she's afraid that they're gonna get back together.
Oh yeah. Oh
Do y'all
yeah.
think that
Oh
Issa?
yeah.
Do y'all think that Issa and Issa and the old boy are they gonna get back together or try to hook back up at least?
I think they're
Who,
gonna be
Lawrence?
Lawrence?
friends. I think they're
Yeah,
gonna be
Lawrence.
friends, and they're gonna get to talk about it. And I think they're gonna see the growth in each other, and I think they're gonna try, because I think what Lawrence used to get on my nerves because I felt like he was really being
Uh-huh.
a whole bum. He was being a
Yeah.
whole bum. I couldn't stand
Yeah.
it. And then you got the
Mhm.
nerve to be in your feelings because she cheated. Like,
Right.
sir,
Right.
get your ass off that couch and be a man and stop being a bum.
Yeah.
So, I feel like they both had a lot of growing to do. And I think if they both had supportive
Right.
friends, their relationship would have wouldn't have ended the way that it did. So now that they both have grown
Mm.
so much, I think they are going to get back together a little bit. But I think that's what Molly was worried about. Like, why are you friends with her? And
Mm.
why are you talking to him? She really just wants Issa to be alone and by herself, independent on her, but only offer help
On
when
her
she feels like
terms.
it, on her right, and on her terms. On her terms.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I'm surprised that Lawrence has been able to still be in this show for this long. But it
Yeah.
definitely, you know,
Like seriously,
yeah.
seriously, he just keep on hanging on.
But I think that's the thing. It's showing you how a fuck boy can grow up.
Halima, we're gonna watch the
Okay.
language a little bit. We're gonna, we gonna,
Uh, uh, uh,
it's every 20 minutes. Spread them out a little bit. Just every 20 minutes. You good?
so I really think that's what it is because even though this is about them, we've seen him go from being on the couch and having no motivation. He just was he had no
Right.
direction. He wasn't clear. And then he
Right.
went through
Right.
through the phase of like, I'm single, I'm in these streets, you know, and and now he realizes like, I'm ready for this next step, whatever it is, I'm ready for that. So it's been now that I think about it, it's been cool to see that. But will they get back together?
I don't know. I
I
kind
don't
of
know.
I
I'ma
kind of think
tell.
so. I
I'ma
think
tell.
something's
I
gonna
I'ma
don't
happen.
tell.
know.
I'm gonna ask you guys
They may
about
try. They may try.
I want to ask you guys about Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
What she got going on? Is this postpartum depression stuff?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think so.
definitely,
She's spoiled.
definitely.
She's spoiled, and things have
Right,
kind of changed a bit. She's in
right,
a new role as mother, and she's not the most important thing, so she got to adapt a little bit.
right. So you
Yeah.
got
Got to adapt a
postpartum
little bit.
and sharing the spotlight.
Right, with that
Mm,
Right.
baby. You don't want to do
right,
that.
right.
But
And
Correct.
it's not just dressing them up, you know, you got to clean them up too. You got to clean them up too.
But I was
So
glad the boyfriend took the baby and went home though, because she needed that. She needed that.
she
She needed that
did.
space.
She did.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
Because, you know, you're not. Uh,
I mean, what's going on? I mean, you guys, this is a good episode. Sunday, I heard. It's funny when Shakita told me to watch it. I heard a lot about this particular episode, and so I had to do some background stuff and figure out what was going on prior to the episode. And I guess this episode not only was a turning point within the season, like it's the turning point in the show, and their friendship and her relationship with Andrew, and
mm.
it's just a lot going on. Where do we think Kelly's character is going from here?
Yay, Kelly.
I don't know, but she needs to stay there because she brings a light-hearted, comical.
Yeah.
You know, I need the comedy and I need the humor, and she gives it to me. She's a
Yes.
wonderful addition to the friendship because, you know, they deal with some really heavy topics,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and those heavy topics sometimes need a little dose of comedy to kind of lighten it up, and Kelly does that wonderfully.
Yeah, I
Right.
definitely like her. That accent, the last episode had me on the
Oh,
floor. I was on the floor. I could not believe that she was talking in that damn accent. But it was
but
perfect.
but you saw when black people run, she lost that accent. That was over.
Do you guys think do you guys think that the writers have done a very good job with this show? It explains sisterhood at that particular age before everybody is married and settled down. Does it? You think the writers does it? Do you think they did a good job with explaining that storyline or the dynamic of everybody about to grow within themselves with the show?
I think so. I think we're finding that, everybody is different. They have their own opinions, and everybody's opinion of Issa and Malik differ. Like I said earlier, I was very surprised at the people who could justify Molly's behavior, but I think that was the purpose of the writers, was to get such a, competitive comparison view and feeling. There's going to be Team Molly and there's going to be Team Issa. You know what I mean? And I think they did a really good job.
I do. I agree.
It's like they shook the tree
I
up a little
agree.
bit. Like they won 3.5 years with this. This is the characters of these people, and now let's shake it up a little bit. And now we're gonna really see the characters kind of evolve into who they're gonna be going forward.
Right. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
last season with the guy who has the really bad depression and anxiety, the light skinned guy's name. He was actually friends with Molly's boyfriend. The one
I
who
can't.
showed up to the
Okay.
block. He showed up to the block party at the end. Issa called him cute. He's a new character.
She. Yeah.
Yeah, him. He has
He
like really
helped her. He was the one. Yeah. He was the plug.
the light skinned guy with the light eyes.
Yeah. He was the plug.
So it was good to see him in this season, like, you know what I mean? Because I thought that he was done too. So I liked him a lot too.
And he was her confidant when Molly wasn't there. She called
Right.
him 3 in the morning when she was nervous about, the festival. He was a friend
Hmm.
more than Molly was. So
And
yeah, I think
isn't that how Molly met her boyfriend though? Through him. I thought
yes,
Issa, right? Because
yes,
Issa was
Correct.
dating him.
mm-hmm, yeah.
How
But
quickly old
yeah,
James Brown wig forgets.
James Brown romper, romper. That whole get up, them teeth, that romper, that wig. It was just a lot. It was a whole
Ugh,
lot. Mm-mm. So
ugly.
I think seeing black women communicate other than a reality show is refreshing and it's needed
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
unfortunately that's pretty much the totality of how we communicate is through reality shows because there is no more girlfriends or living single or I don't know any other black shows.
Right.
So to get to see how women interact and relate to one another in a way that's civil, and loving
Really,
versus
right,
versus whatever this is on reality, because people really think that's how you're supposed to interact with each other. That's crazy to me.
right. Like
Mm.
I've even heard people say, "Oh, men, all y'all watch is reality TV show." And
I hate
oh,
reality.
right, I don't watch. I mean,
I
if the
know
only
not
reality
me.
TV show,
Mm-mm.
the only thing I really watch that's reality is my 90 Day Fiance. That's my show, and I don't even
Mine
know.
too.
I don't even know if that's
They cut
reality
up on there.
TV. Yeah, but I love it. Like that's my show, 90 Day Fiance. They be going in, but that's it.
Yeah,
Like
they
you know what
do.
I mean. So for us to
You
have
not in the shower already?
television is, super dope. You know what I mean? We can just like there were even this whole season, a couple of things really triggered me, and I was just like that dirty, dirty bitch. So
Mm.
it's needed. It definitely is because we don't have shit else on TV.
Can we give it up to Issa one time for her writing?
Yeah,
Yes,
Issa's
Issa.
writing.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
bad.
Issa's writing is
It ain't
is
Tyler Perry,
very.
that's for sure.
Don't even get me started. You know I can't even. I cannot even.
Oh my god. Oh my
That's another
god.
show.
Yes,
That's another
no.
show.
But that, yeah, it's very strong writing. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I
So
don't know what.
going. I wrote some notes. I think I already asked y'all that. So now we're gonna see a whole. Oh, so not basically what y'all was saying. Now we're gonna see a whole different turn in their relationship going
Mm.
forward.
Right.
Yes.
Hopefully, it don't take 2 years to come out, though. You know,
No, it
Yeah.
shouldn't.
it's
It
coming back,
shouldn't.
but it took 2 years. It took when did it come? Did they have a season last season, or was the season before?
No, it was a season. I thought. Yeah, it comes out once a year.
But it was
Right.
it took
Last
longer to
season.
come out. It was something about it was extended. It was longer
It
than it.
was, and I think we got
Last
I
season
think
was
we
the
got like an
last
extra
dragon season.
episode.
It was good.
Yeah, because I think even we got like an extra episode too, but it was longer, and I think we got like an extra episode, so it
What?
wasn't
But they
bad.
did a lot last season. They did a lot last season. A lot was happening, so the
What
break
is
was
that?
well
Oh,
deserved.
hmm
yeah. And it was how, how many episodes? It was only 6.
I think
I'm not
so.
sure.
It happened really quickly because I'm still watching a TV show, and the season isn't over. So this one was really quick. I think last season didn't have a lot of season episodes either. I don't
Mm.
know what they're doing, but
All right. Well, I'm gonna go now. This was
Well,
fun.
you don't have to go yet. Just let me close the show down.
Okay.
Listen, appreciate everybody for joining us. We'll discuss it again. I guess before the season. That wasn't the season finale, right?
mm-hmm.
No.
Oh,
It was. I
it
thought it
wasn't,
was
right?
the
Oh, it
season
was.
finale. I thought so.
Oh
It's
wow, I
a.
There,
didn't know that.
there
Oh
was
no
there
no no no
wasn't a
no no! It's not.
preview.
No, it's not. It's
It's
another
not.
episode. It's another
It's
episode.
okay.
Really?
Maybe it's
Okay.
not coming on this weekend. Maybe it's coming on next week because usually don't come on like holiday weekends.
But
Maybe.
when the season ends, we'll have another show and talk about what we believe about the end of
It's,
season 4 and going forward.
I agree.
Everybody on Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook, thanks for joining us tonight. These lovely ladies did a great job. They did a great job with getting me
I
to
love
watch an
you, ladies.
interesting
I love you,
show
ladies.
to
Thank
Yes.
talk about
you.
females and females relationships. I believe that more men should watch this
Woman.
show. Definitely men of a certain age, because maybe they'll be able to figure out the dynamics that the women in their lives go through. With that, everybody have a
Mm.
blessed night and stay safe.
Thank you.